Transitions can be another part of our day in early childhood that can be problematic. We tend to see a lot of challenging behaviors during these times of transition. When we look at the research, we see that children can spend anywhere from 20 to 30% of their day in an early childhood program in transitions. So it's no wonder that these are times of the day that can be particularly challenging. We also have some children that are not that happy with change, with going from one activity to another, especially if they like what they're doing. So let's think about transitions. Transitions is yet another routine in our daily schedule. A routine, if you look at the definition of just the word routine, it is a detailed plan of action. It is sequential, it's predictable, it should promote independence. Our transitions are no different. They are a routine. So the first thing I want you to think about is, how do we set up for our transitions? Sometimes we want to use a multi-sensory approach. So we want there to be something auditory. We may ring a bell. We want there to be something visual. We may turn the lights off. We might want something kinesthetic. If you are looking at auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, you are engaging all learning modalities. So kinesthetic could be, let's say we ring a bell, we turn off the lights, and we say, okay, everybody, freeze and listen. Put your hands on your head. And we instruct children to put their hands on their head. So our visual is lights off, our auditory is the bell, hands on your head is our kinesthetic. So there's a couple of things that happen when we say put your hands on your head. First of all, I know who's paying attention and I know who's not paying attention. So it helps cue me in to who might need more assistance. Those are some of the things that you can put into your transition. A lot of classrooms do a warning. This helps children prepare for that change. We might say in 5 minutes, we're going to transition. In 5 minutes, we're going to be all done with playtime. In 2 minutes, we're going to clean up. So giving warnings, using multi-sensory modalities can be very helpful. Another layer that I encourage people to do there is think about your transition in a before, a during, and an after. What are the things you can do before to help children prepare for that transition? And I mentioned some of them: warnings, timers, lights, bells. Those things all kind of help children. The other thing you can do is think about who's going to have trouble with this transition. If I know Johnny's going to have trouble with this transition, I want to make sure that one of the teachers are closer to him. So when I turn off the lights and I ring the bell and I say, put your hands on your head, I can have somebody there to help support Johnny with putting his hands on his head. These are some things we can do before. During the transition, there are also things we can do. We can have the steps of the transition outlined. If we're coming in from outside, we can say first line up, then walk into the classroom, then go wash hands. So we can have the steps of the transition that we're going to be using and the things we're going to be doing during that transition. We can also plan for the after. Remember, we always want to be cognizant and aware of making 5-to-1 deposits, giving that positive feedback. In the after, we can be telling children, look at you used your walking feet. You came right in. You're washing your hands. We can be using that time to make those deposits. If you have children that are going to need additional support with that transition, you can use your routine for your transition to then individualize. And remember, when we're individualizing, we just want to be giving the child the support they need. We might not need an entire schedule. We might not need every step of that transition. Maybe the only piece we need to help Johnny with is lining up. Once he lines up, he can walk in the classroom and wash his hands independently. When we define our routines, we can start to make sure we're individualizing. The other piece I want to touch base on is where we started. 20 to 30% of our time in transitions. That's a lot of downtime in a program. It can be anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, depending on the length of your day. Here's another thing we can do with our transitions. Don't look at it as downtime. Use that transition as a teaching time. So maybe I turn off the lights, I ring a bell, and I say, okay, everyone, freeze and listen. Put your hands on your head. Now I'm going to embed a learning concept in there. I'm going to say, what rhymes with head? And I'm going to let children start yelling out things that rhyme with head. Read, said, led. We can embed learning concepts into our transitions so that entire transition is not downtime. That can become instructional time. We can get children engaged and we can individualize.